Hello, sunshine. Welcome to Be Visible with Veronica, the podcast where bold conversations and soul-aligned strategy help you awaken your most powerful self. I'm your host, Veronica Bond. Get ready to stop dimming your light, own your magic, and finally be so visible you can't be ignored. Let's get visible. Welcome back to Be Visible with Veronica. Last week, we spoke to Heidi Davis, a litigator and attorney, 6 years at the AG's office, 10 years of her own business, and her beautiful partnership with Genesis Legal. She shares 3 amazing tips everybody needs to be doing in their life. Take a listen and implement some of those, and let us know in the comments what you decided to do or if you're doing them already. But today, on this 28th episode, 28, I can't believe it, we are interviewing the beautiful Zaneta with Lifeology, and she is talking about her nonprofit, her beautiful 501(c) that she launched, and sharing how it is Youth Hope Month. So let's get right into that conversation. Welcome to our show.
Thank you, Veronica. I'm so excited to be here, especially during Youth Hope Month.
I mean, God works in such beautiful ways. This spot opened up. You were able to come in. Heidi introduced us. I met you at the eWomen Network luncheon last month.
Exactly.
Here we are having this conversation, and you were talking to your team about wanting to get on more podcasts or start your own, and it's Youth Hope Month. Let's talk about, first though, Lifeology. How long has it been not inception, but been a nonprofit? I would love to know that. And what made you start it? Let's start at those grassroots.
Okay, so Lifeology was started in 2019. And the birth of Lifeology was just based out of my work with youth and families in Arizona. I've worked with behavioral health. I've worked with juvenile justice system, with the child welfare system, with kids in group homes and runaway and homeless youth. And it just became apparent that there was a problem between systems, that we were very fragmented in these different silos, and there wasn't a gray area to be able to work and bring kids on a journey to help them find themselves without being reliant on a system. And so because of my work with the different systems is why Lifeology was birthed, to give a holistic place for youth.
Particular age group for you?
So 14 to 24. So we try to get them before, in between, and after, because what we find out is in the early years between middle school and pre-high school era, there's a time and golden opportunity to start teaching some things. And there's some open resilience there with youth that we can teach some skills, talk about some things, work with families. When we get into high school, it's intervention time. So the adolescence hit, it's that battle between independence, self-sufficiency, and families. And then kids within the system don't actually have necessarily access to learning life skills, workforce development. And so Lifeology comes in to be that bridge between systems, in between schools, and support families all at the same time, so that there's no wrong road to finding your journey, finding your road. Just like with eWomen's Network, it's like creating a youth network for youth and families that's not system-based, and that's where Lifeology steps in the room.
I love that. Zaneta, what were you doing prior to you having this beautiful idea of Lifeology?
I was doing Lifeology with everybody else. And what I learned, just in the first eWomen's Network was that a lot of people have been doing the same thing. We've always had this vision of what we wanted to do, but we've been doing it for other people. And the way we keep hitting the wall is because it's not in our purpose. It's not the way we see it designed. And so right in the middle of COVID,
Right. It's true. 2019
is when I decided I'm going to stop and I'm going to launch and change what youth outcomes are for Arizona. And that's when I launched Lifeology.
Now, what is your background? Were you working with youth?
I was. So I've always worked with adolescents. So it's whether it's been from group home side of things, going in and giving them life skill groups to support whatever their licensing requirement is, or I was an intensive case manager for young adults and youth, as well as running programs for parents who are trying to get their children back. So I've worked on each side of the system before deciding to this, and actually building programs for other agencies doing the same work. So
I love that you're sharing that. We had a guest on, Mel Carr, with Six Figure Chicks a few weeks back, and she was sharing her journey, how as a 15-year-old she was on her own. She was independent and didn't realize until she was in her early 20s that there were resources available to her to help her and to support her. And so she created the fact that she has the anthology Six Figure Chick, the Clover Sea company that she developed. Right. But we talked about that, and she had said, nobody's really asked me that question before of what made me decide to come up to create a nonprofit called Her Right to Rise. Right. For young women. And so Lifeology is all about supporting youth of any age, 14 to 24, correct, but of any demographic?
Correct, any demographic. So if it's a youth, and that's what I tell my young adults, I'm like, you're kids. But it's all young people, 14 to 24, and similar to Mel Carr, it's giving them access, meeting youth right where they are, and creating a community around them, because in Mel's situation, there wasn't somebody to say, Mel, this is what you want to do. Let me find something near you to support that. And that's exactly what we do, is we find out what a youth is and what they want to do. It's not our plan or our expectation. It's a space for them. And I think right now in this culture, what I love is that that's what it is. eWomen is a place for women to have the space, to have the voice, to have the advocate, to be empowered. Lifeology is that place for youth to find their voice, to find their road, and create a network community for them so that they can thrive.
I love this story. You know, one of the reasons why I started Be Visible with Veronica was to help women young women, or all ages of women, to really find their voice in their passion, like you, taking something that they were already doing, they have proof of concept over, and now they're starting a business, but they're looking around and they might not know that there's resources available. We're already in, I think, 14 countries and 136 cities. This podcast TV show's been downloaded, but it also came from an experience I had when I was traveling in South Africa and in Mexico. We were in Belize. I've had the fortune to travel all over the world, and when I go into these villages, these cities, these countries, and you see local women sharing their wares, or the children on the street selling the braided bracelets and the beads and wanting. I thought, and I had a conversation with one of the young gals in South Africa, how do you find the materials? And then we connected on Facebook, and she would share more of her story. And there were moments where she needed to purchase more yarn or more string or more beads, and she had an account that I could contribute to financially to help her, because we've learned that 97% or above 80% of young women that go out into the world to earn money and are creating legacy for their families, they go back to their homes, their communities, their neighborhoods, their villages, and less than 45% of young men do the same. Once they leave, they're often gone for good, and they're not coming back. Not because they don't want to come back, but life is giving them other paths and directions. But young women do. And so when I started Be Visible with Veronica, I thought, how can we talk to that young gal, that very successful influencer who's in her 20s or 30s, or they're already earning their 6 and 7 figures, but they did it in such a way that their life skills were kind of being made on as they went, but they don't have a mentor. They don't have somebody talking to them about copyright and trademark and the 3 things they should be doing every day and how they're writing their goals and all these things we talk about here on the show. And I love that you're talking about being a resource, because somebody's going to listen to this and they're going to hear it while they're sitting on the corner someday, upset at their family or not wanting to go home. Maybe they'll find it on YouTube and they'll learn about Lifeology.
Exactly. And that's really it, is just finding the way. Is even, because we're the Safe Place agency for Maricopa County, QuikTrip is the sponsor of Safe Place. So wherever you see a QuikTrip, you see Safe Place.
Wow.
That's actually Lifeology. So when those youth are in crisis, those are the things. It is that kid on the corner, like, I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say to my parents, but this isn't working. And so a lot of times it really is our turn to walk alongside and create this resource and bridge for this family to say, this is where this kid is at, and this is what they're communicating. How can we work together and come to an agreement so that we can all thrive? Mm-hmm. And that's really what it is. It isn't about, creating a space that doesn't exist. It's creating the space within that space that supports all the humans in it. Mm-hmm. And essentially that's what it is. Even for myself as a CEO, I've done the work and been in the trenches and outreach in the street and all these things. But now it's time for this to become Lifeology, to have its own transition and create the visibility, because the need is high now. And now more than ever before, we need a network. I need a network, and so I become my own transition plan. And so it's like eWomen's Network being here to make me visible makes youth visible. And it's so important to be able to, one, as a woman, be able to have a space where someone sees, and be visible and having this opportunity is all about that. It's a dual opportunity for me to talk about my experiences as a CEO.
I love
But also it elevates youth voice.
Well, one thing I talk about with Veronica Bond Consultancy too is visibility isn't vanity, it's vital. And if we aren't giving ourselves permission as women with missions and messages to show up and share, then we're being selfish.
Right.
When we show up and we serve and we share in powerful ways with amazing connectors, and we come from a place of love and get out of our heads and get into our heart space.
Right.
Mountains move.
Right.
Life alters. People feel it, and they feel loved and supported and heard and accepted. And then we give permission for every other person to stand up in their power, in their passion, in their mission, with a message to do the same. Tell us a little bit about how you're funded. Like, what does this look like? How can people support Lifeology? Do you have corporate funding? Do you have local funding? Do you have private donations? Do you have a combination of all of those things now that you've been around for 6 years?
So what I will say is we're a nonprofit, but we're federally contracted. So that means that our funding is restricted to programming and direct services for youth. And so a lot of times what we say is the way people can help is those extra $5, $10, $100, the stuff that you're not using, or, the furniture that may have a nick on it that you're thinking about throwing away or giving to Goodwill. Ask us first, because we have transition age housing for young adults who are trying to live affordably,
and they're transitioning out.
And they're transitioning out of systems. That goes a long way to help keep our costs down, because our other programs that are outside of our unaccompanied minors aren't funded. So it's strictly based on donor support, philanthropy work, and right now we're just strictly federally funded. And so those 18-year-olds have, if they have support, it comes from an outside agency who aligns with us or partners with us to say, hey, we'll house this youth and we'll provide their housing up until a certain point. And some kids and young adults aren't ready. And so those extra times is where the support comes in. So providing, sponsoring housing assistance for a young adult for a month, or hygienes. Those are the things that help us keep our costs down. And because we do, 100% of what we get goes to the direct services to our young people.
And I want to talk about that and the miracle on Wilshire Street that you have coming up. But what is the program you're the most proud of, the resource you provide that lights you up and brings you joy, that is maybe the pillar for Zaneta? What is the one thing you've done that is a huge win for your organization? I
think the huge win for us was becoming the licensed safe place agency for Maricopa County. That has been the journey. We've always been in partnership with Safe Place. When it was with Child Crisis, we have a great partnership with Child Crisis. They were the ones that said Lifeology can be the person to lead this on. And so to get the call to say, are you ready to do this? Can you do this? Will you support this? We know that you do this. We know that you believe in it. And we trust you with it. Oh. That was huge to me, because we've been where we've 2019 coming out of a pandemic. So for the one thing to be that
emotional about
this. It is. It's a big deal, because Maricopa County has been trying to bring youth voice. And so for one to be the person that they entrusted with that, on top of QuikTrip saying to me, we'll support it. And not only will we support unaccompanied minors, but we'll support and help fund you to meet the needs of homeless young adults. And that's huge for us. That's huge, because it's saying, we see you. It's really showing the visibility and saying, we see you with this and we trust you with this. And being able, so it's that this year has been a real visible, heart-filling, heart stance. I'm very transparent about the joy that I feel in being able to do this thing. And so I'm really happy to be here and be able to share that part of this journey with you all here and with eWomen's Network, because it's been a journey, and it's like my heart song.
Oh, Zaneta, I love that. Yeah. The QuikTrips, you say they're safe houses, safe places, safe.
Yes. So
and does it have something in the window it's iconic, like a logo, so
correct,
people can see it?
Yeah. So when you go to QT, you'll see a triangular. Well, not a triangular. It's a four. It'll say Safe Place.
Okay.
And it'll either be in their window or just outside, facing the parking lot, so that youth can identify that they're a safe place. And so
when they go in to QuikTrip,
right, a youth can go into QuikTrip and say, I'm not feeling safe, I need a safe place. And immediately QuikTrip staff are trained to put that youth in a safe place inside the store.
Really?
And they give us a call, and then we come out and provide safety and bring them to shelter.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And are you operating through every QuikTrip throughout the state?
Every QuikTrip in Maricopa County.
Maricopa County.
But the thing about it is, Phoenix is QuikTrip's largest market. And so it's the opportunity to operate in a huge way, in the most impactful way, with QuikTrip, who we love.
Do you think that Safeology will be able to replicate and go to other cities?
That's really the goal, is now that we've been in this space, it's really a place to show what we've done. And with Safe Place, we just were at the Focus Conference over in Disney World, where we were able to talk about it, because we're one of the few cities that provides Safe Place for 18 to 21-year-olds.
Wow.
And so with QuikTrip's backing, it's something that we can replicate and share with other communities across the country to say, this is how we've done it. This is a model that we can create and replicate. And so we're right now continuing to have the conversations as we see situations. And that's one of the ways that Heidi Davis came in and helped us, because
with Genesis Legal.
To be able to help advocate in a way with our youth to, one, help with those conversations as we're talking with different systems, with the police department and with hospitals, to say, what's the best way to do this? How can we best support youth that we feel need shelter, but also need some support on the crisis side to help mitigate some of those circumstances from being on the street, so that they can still feel safe,
sure,
but have the support at the same time of the different systems.
And are you familiar with OCJ Kins, with Gary?
I am. Oh. I love Gary and Tammy. They're my people. And just a quick note, I love Gary, and he'll know why. When I was working in group homes as a coordinator, there was a shelter. We had a shelter of a 10-bed boy house. And I asked Gary, I said, if you can just find me a volunteer for these boys, because I think it will make the difference. Gary got in there himself, got volunteers, then across 20-something of the group homes, made sure that they had just another adult support, and he understood. And so we are very much kinfolks.
Oh, collaborators.
Gary, Tambra, and Siobhan, they are my people. So yes,
they were our first grant recipient for eWomen Network when I took over as managing director 4 years ago.
Yes,
and we were so proud to give them that $8,000 grant. And then they've just soared since, and now they're replicating their model in other states and cities. It's
terrific, because they, like us, understood the need for young adults. And they started doing the adulting conference, and I think I was at the first adulting conference, and it's just amazing. When you have community partnership like that, you really can soar farther than you normally would because of communities understanding, hey, Siobhan, I've got this kid. Can you, Tammy or Gary, find a way to help with this? And OCJ, when they have over in don't last year, they had somebody that was donating their Airbnb furniture. OCJ couldn't hold it. They immediately called us.
Wow.
And we were able to furnish two-bedroom units for young adults based on this one shared partnership. And that's just how the love that we have. And
there's just no competition. It's collaboration.
Nothing.
That is one thing that makes me proud of being the executive managing director for the eWomen Network community, is women come in to collaborate. Even if they're in similar fields, the referrals are golden.
Right.
It's beautiful.
And it is.
And I love that you know this. And it really comes from a place of love, right? And of course you know it. But I love that we're having this conversation, because I think that there's this idea around entrepreneurship or growth that I'm the only one. I have to be the only one in the room, or I'm the only one who has this way. And no, there's billions of people on this planet. We can all serve each other from a place of love and God-centered hope and paths that open up.
Exactly. And literally that is what I love about the relationship with OCJ, is that if there's someone that they can't serve, they'll call me. If there's a kid that I need to see if they have access, I'll call them. And it's not a competition over children. And sometimes in youth serving agencies that happens, but when you have a true community of partners that can do this, it really helps to build a community around the kid where they can thrive, because it's like, guess
so
what?
important.
Let's call Siobhan and see if she can help out with this. If I have a kid who doesn't have a cell phone, I'm like, Siobhan, do they qualify? And
they have a program.
Right, exactly. And it's just great to have that village for kids.
And village for women.
Yes.
Creating magical webs of light and love and collaboration and community.
Exactly. It's like
all the way back.
It's definitely like a tapestry, like all these different threads of things that can come together and provide coverage.
I love that tapestry. Beautiful. I want to talk about really quick, with the few minutes we have left.
Absolutely.
How can people reach out to you? Where should they find you? And we'll also make sure we're putting it in the show notes on the anywhere you listen, or on YouTube where you're subscribed and following, right?
Absolutely.
Right. Okay, so let's talk about Miracle on Wilshire Street first, and then how people can reach out to you.
Okay, so Miracle on Wilshire Street is our prevention efforts dedicated to children of incarcerated parents. And so what we do is we collaborate with local churches to give gifts or purchase gifts for children of incarcerated parents, and we provide an event. So Miracle on Wilshire Street will be December 20th from 11 to 4. Prior to that, we'll be receiving the gifts, having volunteer engagements to wrap gifts. So the ways people can do it's as simple as giving us your old rolls of Christmas wrapping paper.
How many of you have old rolls of Christmas wrapping paper?
It's old season. You don't have to use it. I heard there's a whole new Ralph Lauren type of wrapping paper people are using. So
I don't even.
I don't want to do that. So I just need your old rolls, your tape,
your bows you don't use.
All those things, the boxes, the ones left over from last year. We'll use all of that in efforts to wrap the gifts, because what happened is QuikTrip came in again, and there was a crisis in the valley. There was about 800 kids in Phoenix that weren't attached to a church to get gifts for. QuikTrip sponsored 500 kids.
Are you kidding? Wow.
And just blew my heart away. So Rosie, I thank you. But yes, so they're shopping and they're helping to wrap. It's not just they're buying, they're shopping and wrapping. And so these angels are attached to one child. And so we'll be wrapping starting the week of December 9th. And so other ways people can sponsor, if they want to sponsor photo booths or sponsor catering, those are the other ways people can give, or just giving to any kind of overflow needs of the event.
Okay.
That's the way people can show up.
And they find your website.
They can find me on www.lifeologyaz.org, as well as on IG at Lifeology AZ, and Facebook Lifeology AZ Inc.
And Lifeology is spelled, for those who are wondering.
Life, L-I-F-E, ology like biology, the study of life, OLOGYAZ.
I love that. And again, we'll put it in the show notes. So I have Miss Aziel I don't have my glasses on.
Aziel
Aldrete. And we have on here that she's 7. Oh, no. He's 7.
Yes.
I see that the boy mark is checked. I was thinking young gal. Now, does it have on here like her wish list, or
yes,
how does that work?
So what happens is any donor or somebody that decides to pull the angel tree, we also have a digital online tag. And so on the online tag, that'll have Aziel's wish list and details.
All right. And then you tell on the wish list, you check off what either you or your family. So our family every year will find a few angels or a family, and then we all fill the specific need or desire or want, and then we'll sometimes all come together and wrap as well. So this sounds like a really great.
That's really what we try to do, is make it a community wrapping party, essentially, because it's another way to network and talk about the needs and really see our community in action, because this is that time of year where there was a story as we were starting to call families. There was a family who immediately just received an infant from an incarcerated family member that just had a child. And so immediately I reached out to my network. I said, Heidi, Rita from Rothfed Bank, I said, I know you guys have this family on your angel tree. She has an immediate need. Literally, they came in like eagles and were able to provide this family some onesies, a crib, and diapers just over this past weekend. Wow. That's community. And it is. And that wouldn't happen without you all making us visible, helping us feel like we had our own community, because essentially as businesses and as women, being able to have a network of women who have the heart of giving and have the heart of community is what it's about. So
I love this. Well, I am so honored.
Me too.
With the work that you're doing, the lives that you are changing, the chains that are being broken, because
Absolutely.
the cycles have an opportunity to not be repeated.
Yes.
We are making a difference with the youth of Maricopa County and serving them all collectively however we show up in that space. So thank you for coming on and sharing your story. If you want to connect with Zaneta, please make sure you go to her website, lifeologyaz.org, and sign up. Show up, Miracle on Wilshire Street. I love this. Grab an angel. Send us a comment or a direct message if you want to learn more, and we'll put the rest of the information in the show notes. And I just appreciate
Thank you
stepping into a space of saying, I want to do something different, and I'm not just going to sit here and talk about it anymore. I'm going to take action.
Thank you, Veronica, for allowing us to come on here and take action and being willing to hold space for youth. I appreciate it.
You're so welcome. Well, it's a month of youth for hope, right?
Yes, Youth Hope Month.
Youth Hope Month. So I love that. November, can't think of any other month that it would be more perfect for. So, but every month should be Youth Hope Month, actually. Actually. Bye for now. Thanks for tuning in to Be Visible with Veronica. If today's episode sparked something in you, share it, tag me, and pass it on. Your presence has power, and the world is better when you let it be seen. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and keep showing up as the unstoppable force you were born to be. I'll see you next time.